What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy back with another one. People, in today's video, we want to discuss the colored people and the dilemma they are facing, and whether or not the colored race is about to become extinct. People, isn't it shocking that colored people are so diverse? Colored people make up about 9% of South Africa's population. And at one stage, colored people made up, I think, about 61%, if I'm not mistaken. 61% at the highest, or is it 54% at the highest ever of the Western Cape population? Right? Today, as we speak, the colored people are no longer the dominant race in the Western Cape where they once were the majority. Unfortunately, we are now down to 36% of the population in the Western Cape. Now, factors. What has constituted this new development for the first time ever within the history of South Africa? Well, number one, the influx of people from the Eastern Cape. More and more people are coming into the Western Cape from the Eastern Cape because lack of development, lack of progress, lack of infrastructure, lack of economic opportunities in the Eastern Cape. So therefore, the Eastern Cape people are moving to the Western Cape. Number two, the influx of foreigners into the Western Cape. The Western Cape has positioned itself as an international hub for opportunities, for job creation, for infrastructure development, for first class or first world living. And now everybody's aspiring to be a part of that. So now we have an influx of foreigners in South Africa. I mean, I'm talking about foreigners, I'm not talking about Westerners. I'm talking about Black African foreigners, which then adds to the whole dynamic of a Black majority in the Western Cape. Now, is this a bad thing or a good thing? For let's start in the beginning, where we stay now, where you used to see colored people everywhere. You're no longer seeing coloreds now. And it's beginning, it's it's sad to see predominantly Black people in spaces where you would normally see diversity. Now there's no diversity, it's just Black people, you know? It's like going into ShopRite, for example. Maybe the management is colored, maybe ShopRite, but almost all the cashiers are Black, closer to be precise in most cases. And I wonder what's causing this. Is it the colors don't work for the low salary? Is it that ShopRite is now deciding that they're going to take on Blacks, they're not hiring colors? Wow, what's happening? You know, there are certain places people are even saying, like, in majority colored areas, that even there it's majority Black employees in the ShopRites over there. So why am I singling out ShopRite? Because they're the biggest retailer and they're the obvious visible retailer. That's why. I'm not saying it's company policy for them to hire only Black people, but I'm saying the dynamics have changed. So I don't know whether it's the colored people that are refusing to work in these ShopRites, or is it ShopRite who's choosing to hire Black people because they're coming in at a cheaper rate. You know what I'm saying? I'm not quite sure of that. But all I just know is that the dynamics within the stores are changing from at face value. Second thing, foreigners that are coming in and taking these jobs that were once proudly for colored people. Someone would look at it when they see a Congolese, because, or a Zimbabwean or a Malawian working in these so-called low wage jobs, right? As coloreds are lazy, they don't want to work in these places, so that's why the black people are taking over. You know what I mean? Then it's so harrowing to see that. Yes, we're going into town. You go into town and you don't see coloreds anymore. You see a speckle there, a trickle here, a trickle there, and you know, I don't want this video to come across as racism or a racist video, but it would be okay, guys. It's like going to Limpopo. Imagine going to Limpopo, right? And you see predominantly only white people in the spaces that were traditionally only really black people. That would be a shocker. Like for the longest times that I've been in the Western Cape, I mean, all my basically half my life that I've been in the Western Cape, the dynamics are just it's just different now. It's just not the same anymore. I mean, it's just it's just not normal. That guys, before you just walk out your gate, before you even walk out your gate, just look out your window. You just see colored people, the dustbin people, the council workers, the beggars, the vendors, the shopkeepers, the employees, the postmen, that everybody was just colored. And now, yo, you'd be hard pressed to find a colored person. You'd be like, okay, whoa, every second, third person, okay, colored. When you first woke up, every person you saw was colored. Now every I don't know third, fourth, fifth, 10th person is a colored. You know what I mean? So things are changing, and I totally get it that the world cannot remain the same as it once was, and obviously people feel differently about the dynamics as the world changes. I totally get it. But when you're in a place where it's predominantly colored people living there, and when you go into the stores and you find almost no coloreds working there, then you think to yourself, okay, the businesses that move into these spaces, did they not think of hiring the majority demographic that lives there? Or is it that the majority demographic that lives there don't want those jobs? You know what I'm saying? That's the dynamic I'm looking at here. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just different now. It's just weird now. It's just like how, I don't know, going to places that were once deemed whites only. And now you get there and then you find like, oh wow, at least now it's majority us now. We are allowed in these spaces. We taking over now. That kind of a story. It's like that wow factor. For me, it's like, wow, it's different. You know what I mean? Gee whiz, I didn't see this coming, but damn, now I'm in it. I'm seeing it, and is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? See, that's the question that I wrestle with every time. That's on the one front, right? Now let's talk about the colored issue. There are coloreds who claim that to be Khoisan, you have to look a certain way. You cannot be Khoisan if you have straight hair. You cannot be Khoisan if you have light skin. You cannot be Khoisan if you, I don't know, look other than what the typical Khoisan Bushman look like. Like the people in the Leon Schuster movies. So for me, I feel like there's something wrong within that dynamic. Because what if we all do know that majority of the colored people have Khoisan DNA in them? So what if you happen to take the part or take the DNA, majority of your DNA comes from the white half of Van Riebeck's people, you know? Does that make you less of a Khoisan person? Because every colored person that had that I'm not talking about the Cape Malay people because they have Cape and they have Malay and they have Indian and they came over here and they mixed with the colored people. And so obviously they have less of Khoisan DNA. Some don't even have Khoisan DNA in them because some of them are just straight. Cape Malay people, no Malay and Indonesian people, so they don't even have. I totally get that. But I'm talking about the people that have a Khoi grandparent in them or great grandparent in them that had a white slave owner that had, intercourse with their grandmother, whatever, you have Khoi DNA in you. So it doesn't matter how you look physically on the outside. The mere fact that you have Khoi DNA means you qualify to become a Khoisan. It means you qualify to be a DNA, a Khoisan person or part Khoi. You can. You know what I mean? In the same way that as a Khoisan person or Khoisan descendant, you can also be Muslim, you can be Christian, you can be Jewish, you can be whatever you want to be, and still be Khoisan. But in the colored community, no. You gotta have kinky hair, you gotta have Bushman features. You cannot call yourself Khoi because you don't look Khoi. I don't need to look Khoi. What if I took more of the white features, but my DNA still says that's Khoi? Is that not possible? Surely it has to be. Surely it has to be. So I'm just thinking some of the issues that we colored people bring upon ourselves. It's just unnecessary. It's really unnecessary. I really think that we have bigger fish to fry, like forming our own political parties, forming our own little civil rights organizations. We have bigger fish to fry that need to see the development and the progression of colored people as a race, other than tearing each other down based on DNA and this and that. No, guys, I can't believe it that colored communities we still divided on hair to this very day. We still divided on skin color, on light versus dark, this versus that. Frivolous stuff, frivolous. Funny thing is, we're both fighting that, and yet we're both living in a shack. We're fighting that, we're both living in a high density, crime ridden area, gangsters and all that. But here we're talking about hair, complexion, and we're fighting over, well, you this, you that, you that. How about looking at it and saying, guys, we are all poor. We are dead broke. We are starving. You know what I'm saying? We ain't have to borrow money to get a matric dance just to get to a matric board. We need to borrow money to hire a car from somebody else. We could have been starting programs at grassroots level to uplift everybody colored. But no, here we are fighting over frivolous things like hair. Since when does hair change the price of eggs? Since when does hair get you out of poverty? Since when does hair do anything for you? Other than the beauty that people just like, wow, you look beautiful. Other than that, little brag that you have. What else do you have other than your hair? That's my thing. So let's think bigger. Let's think out of the box. Let's not be tied down by stupid things that don't progress and don't improve our lives. Let us do something bigger and better that can improve the lives of everyone within the colored community. I don't care whether you are Khoisan or Cape Malay or that. As long as you fall within the colored community, let us build the colored community. Let us start political parties. Let us start civil rights organizations. Let us have our own organizations that actually promote and push the colored narrative so that we too can stand up and be counted in this country of South Africa. So that when black and white